on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at noon.
What it is a reaction to something being taken away and offering a space where we can still have art in our city.
Now at noon, painting the parking lot. A local business owner turning to art to replace the Pulse crosswalk after it was erased by the state. And
I feel like it's going to bring a lot of people back to the docks and back to the waterfront.
how a project underway at Lake Toho could help native wildlife flourish. But we start with breaking news at noon. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood just gave an update following the arrest of two kids. A 12 and 13-year-old are facing felony charges. They're accused of breaking into Friendship Elementary in Deltona Saturday and causing at least $50,000 in damages. Surveillance cameras in the area caught the two, who deputies originally called persons of interest. This is the damage left behind: shattered glass, books scattered, equipment destroyed. The sheriff also says there was paint thrown all over and a racial slur written on a wall. A fire alarm alerted deputies to the break-in late Saturday night, but when they got there, the suspects were nowhere to be found. Sheriff Chitwood says the kids' parents later turned them in.
I got to give the moms credit. They called us. They didn't tell the kids we were coming. And when they were questioned, they confessed to what they did. One of them then went up to the bedroom and got out some items that were stolen from the school, a radio and some digital cameras, and turned them over to us. When questioned, why would you do this? The response we get all the time is, we were bored.
The sheriff's office says the boys actually broke into the school during the day and did damage, and then went back in the evening to cause more. Your Volusia County community correspondent Angie Casada spoke to parents about this ahead of the sheriff's update.
I found out from Facebook asking for another parent to be on the look for these individuals. And unfortunately, they looked very young. And I was young once, and I've done stupid things, but why in elementary school? Yeah. You know, like, my daughter goes here. She was there watching it with me and started weeping. And I mean weeping, talking about how the book fair was there and what she wanted from the book fair and all her experiences in there and how it was just so sad.
Chitwood says the boys are back in the custody of their parents. They are both facing charges, including burglary, criminal trespassing, and criminal mischief, all felonies. Your other Volusia County community correspondent, Molly Reed, will have much more on this later today. Turning now to your forecast as we take a live look from our camera in Daytona Beach. Surf still looking a little churned up out there, but overall not a bad day at all. Let's get you over to Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Candace, felt a little bit like fall this weekend and even this morning, so, you know, a nice little tease for us.
It was. We called it a little whiff, right?
Yes.
It was not long enough to actually enjoy it for too long, but hopefully, you know, it happened to fall on the weekend, so that was kind of like an extra win-win, right? Let's take another live look from Daytona Beach to show you the temperatures, though. At this point in time, got the birds flying in the background. We're at 83 degrees right now in Daytona, 82 degrees in Sanford. We're at 84 in Melbourne and Sanford as well. And yes, Julie, you mentioned the waters are a little churned up. There's an area of low pressure. You can see it there on the top side of your screen. That's going to continue to kind of rough up the surf. So if you are going to be enjoying the beaches today, just do be aware that we do have a high risk of rip current still. As of right now, we're looking mostly dry. We should stay dry through most of the day. We'll have more details when rain will be working its way back into the forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Candace, thank you. A big update in a deadly wrong-way crash investigation on I-95. FHP confirming to News 6 less than an hour ago that the driver who was going the wrong way made a U-turn in the middle of the interstate. Investigators say 34-year-old Winston Willis died when the car he was in was hit head-on. The initial collision near Wickham Road early yesterday morning caused a chain reaction involving 8 vehicles. The 34-year-old woman who troopers say was driving the wrong way died. A passenger in Willis's car also died. Several others were taken to the hospital. The crash shut down I-95 northbound for hours. FHP is investigating the crash. Another crash in Brevard County. We're pressing the sheriff's office for the name of the person killed when they were hit by a Brightline train. It happened Friday at Eyster Boulevard and US 1. According to FHP, the driver went around a lowered stop arm and was hit by a southbound Brightline train. Witnesses say the vehicle was split in half and dragged hundreds of yards. The train was carrying 188 passengers on its way to Miami. Brightline is urging drivers to never bypass safety gates, calling it a, quote, dangerous, reckless, and illegal. Turning controversy into creativity. That's what one Central Florida restaurant owner is aiming to do. She's letting community members paint her parking lot. It's all in response to the removal of the painted crosswalks and murals by the state, like the one outside Pulse. News 6's Mark Lehman went out there this morning. He shows us why people want to take part.
Being out here today, it's interesting to see all of these artistic pieces coming together. Dozens of artists are putting in a lot of man hours today, and the person who organized all of this says the goal is creating a message of resilience.
We're known as the City Beautiful, so this is kind of giving back to that.
Trena Gregory is the owner of 7 Bites and opened up 49 parking spaces to local artists as a canvas for creativity. What was your inspiration behind this?
I just wanted to create something cute with a good, hopeful message.
For Sophia Alarcon, that message is love will always win. After seeing the state's recent decision to paint over street art, including the rainbow crosswalk outside Pulse, she's proud to turn the controversy into a powerful community-driven project.
Orlando is such a strong community. We've been through a lot, and I just hope that this is like a show of our community.
It was last month when FDOT ordered the removal of painted designs from roadways after new federal and state safety guidelines. That sparked weeks of protests outside Pulse, inspiring this artistic outlet on private property.
And I've always believed that self-expression and authenticity can really bring about change.
And while the move has drawn a strong reaction, Gregory insists the response at 7 Bites isn't political, but rather a call for unity.
This is really a response to healing and joy and a way for our community to still feel connected to each other.
Now, this heart-shaped area with rocks is symbolically the 49th space. And the cool thing about this is that everyone gets a chance to put this together. Now, Gregory says that she has also created a GoFundMe to keep parking spaces with pride going forward. We put a link to that under this story on clickorlando.com. In Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
A vegetation harvesting project underway at Lake Toho right now. The goal, clean up the lake and make it healthier so native wildlife can flourish. Your Osceola County community correspondent Stephanie Rodriguez is talking to people near the lake, and she's finding out they have big hopes for this latest project.
The county is working on the project in phases, and they started here on this part of the lake near Brinson Park, and it's just the beginning.
Seeing how it has changed in the last couple of weeks is actually really nice.
Osceola County residents are happy to see work being done at Lake Toho.
I feel like it's going to bring a lot of people back to the docks and back to the waterfront.
The county is removing invasive vegetation that impacts water quality, recreation, and stormwater flow.
If you go on this lake in a jet ski, you are probably going to be stuck on this lake right now with the invasive plants. What this will do is going to open up approximately 160 acres for wildlife and for native species to flourish.
After being removed from the lake, the vegetation is brought here to the shoreline. Now it just needs to dry before it can be transported and turned into compost. While it's not a cheap process, Osceola County wanted to clear the lake efficiently and effectively.
But it does take a lot of effort and is more expensive than spraying per acre. We're looking at approximately $15,000 per acre to actually do this work.
This is the first time the county has physically removed vegetation instead of spraying it with chemicals, a change residents agree with.
A lot of the chemicals, it just harms the wildlife. It's not good for, the natural wildlife out there, and it's not good for the community in general.
The project is estimated to cost $2.2 million between state and county funding. The hope is that this project will be completed by the end of this year. I'm your Osceola County community correspondent, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Remembrances continue for the late political activist Charlie Kirk. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are beginning to speak out. Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
Supporters, activists, and top Republicans gathered at the Kennedy Center Sunday to remember Charlie Kirk. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt spoke about his influence on young conservatives and on her political career.
Every time I take that podium, I will think of Charlie Kirk. I will remain inspired by his courage and his conviction, and I will continue to speak the truth as Charlie did so well.
President Trump confirmed he will attend Kirk's funeral Sunday at Arizona's football stadium in Glendale and blamed the radical left for political violence.
If you look at the problem is on the left. It's not on the right, like some people like to say on the right. The problem we have is on the left.
But House Speaker Mike Johnson called on elected leaders to turn down the rhetoric.
There are some deranged people in society, and when they see leaders using that kind of language so often now, increasingly, it spurs them on to action. I think this could be a turning point, frankly, to use Charlie's term, for the country, and I hope that's true.
CBS News has confirmed the Trump administration is asking Congress for $58 million to increase executive and judicial branch security following Kirk's assassination and supports more funding to protect lawmakers.
We're keenly aware that there are people that are irrational, that do irrational acts.
Republican Senator James Lankford and Democrat Chris Coons appeared together on Face the Nation to call for less divisive and more respectful dialogue.
The internet is an accelerant. It is driving extremism in our country. It's driving us apart, left and right.
The senators also want Congress to revisit proposed legislation to protect young people from dangerous online content. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A charity event that's raising money to support other charities across Central Florida. Coming up, the tickets that just went on sale and the charities talking about how the event impacts them. Giving you a live look now from our Mount Dora camera. Looking so pretty out there on this Monday. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back.
Introducing the new $25 million Gold Rush Multiplier Scratch-Off from the Florida Lottery.
Tickets just went on sale for Cows and Cabs. It's an event that raises money for charities across Central Florida. Last year, it gave away $750,000. News 6's Emily McLeod shows us how local organizations and those who need help benefit from this event.
Every dollar counts in the work that we do.
Kathy Southern is the executive director of Family Promise of Greater Orlando. Family Promise helps families who are facing homelessness achieve stable housing and self-sufficiency through a community-based response.
The homelessness issue across Central Florida has just really kind of exploded here in recent years. Tell me, how great is the need that you all are facing right now in light of that?
The need is incredible. So last year alone, we served 254 families, and we had to turn away over 600 that needed our help, but we just didn't have the capacity.
Southern says the money from Cows and Cabs helps them to reach even more families.
The less time we spend out fundraising, the more time we have that we can spend on helping families and particularly making sure kids are not negatively affected by the crisis in our community.
Tina LaRue is the co-founder and co-chair of Cows and Cabs. The event brings people out for a night of food, dancing, and giving back. She says in the event's first year, they raised $30,000. In 2024, they gave away $750,000.
What is that like for you to be able to give that back to the community, to see your event produce those kinds of results?
It's unimaginable. And giving the checks to some of these charities like Family Promise or Central Florida Miracle League or After School All Stars, it's tears in my eyes every time I do it because it's just amazing. Amazing.
Several local restaurants participate in the event, including one of Winter Park's newest spots, Corner Chop House.
It's been fun knowing that we're going to get back out into the community because we want to be part of the community. It's a huge thing with us and within the company.
In Winter Park, I'm Emily McLeod, News 6.
All right, time to get a check of your forecast. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos here as we take a live look outside, looking so nice. But of course, we are talking about the tropics and a new invest.
There's always something to talk about, right? Well, locally, we're not dealing too much tropical moisture, but the good news is that that's going to stick around for a couple more days. But yes, we are watching now. That same wave we've been watching for the last couple of days has now officially been designated an invest. I'll show you what that means in just a second. Comfortably dry day today as humidity levels are on the lower side of things. Temperatures, though, this afternoon running below average into those upper 80s. Our average for this time of the year is about 91 or so. Then as we head into kind of Wednesday, that's going to be kind of our transitional day between the dry start and a little bit of a soggier end. Not a complete washout, but moisture and rain chances will start to creep back in. We'll first feel it with that humidity, and then we'll start seeing with the rain chance. But yes, we are watching some tropical moisture that's starting to get its spin going on right now. You can see it's still far out over the eastern Atlantic. As of a latest update, this is now officially Invest 92L. We don't have a full kind of envelope of computer models just yet. It was designated around 9:30. It takes some time for those computer models to kind of start generating themselves. So, of course, throughout the rest of the evening, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas, as soon as we start getting more of those models, he'll be showcasing them for you. But for now, the long-range models, for the most part, keep the system moving towards the west-northwest. Eventually, many of them starting to take that turn back out into the northern Atlantic, something we, of course, will be watching regardless of what models are showing. We'll be breaking that information down each day. But in the meantime, we're looking at about an 80% chance of potential development. You can see water vapor imagery, so all that dry air is still in place, and that is going to once again keep rain chances on the lower side of things. As of right now, we're looking mostly dry outside. Now, temperatures out the door right now as you're running those errands, we're in those low to mid 80s, pretty much area wide. Look how nice and comfortable. 82 degrees in Orlando. Same in New Smyrna, 82 from the Villages down through Leesburg and Claremont. Really the only warm spot at this point in time is you guys in Cocoa Beach at 85. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for your Monday.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
Zero highs this afternoon back into the upper 80s. Notice the rain chance is not extremely high, not zero, but still not super high. You can see those scattered showers will start to develop along that sea breeze between about 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see a couple of them will go in and out, not producing a lot of rain. And then on Tuesday, models are starting to pick up on a little bit of moisture starting to creep back up from the south. I do think that most of us will end our Tuesday afternoon drier, but you can see that we're going to start feeling a little more of that humidity back into the forecast on Wednesday and Thursday. If you're trying to enjoy maybe the outdoors, maybe enjoying the beaches, just do be aware both today and tomorrow conditions will be feeling nice on the sand. The only problem is rip current risks will stay on the high side as our surf will be rough at times between about 3 to 5 feet. Now that same front and area of low pressure that's been keeping us nice and dry for the past couple of days will pull away. We'll kind of see another system start to approach the area, kind of upping those rain chances, plenty of moisture. You see a lot more green and yellow, which is why you can see we're going to start trending up those rain chances up to about a 60% for the weekend. But in the meantime, though, the good news is the next couple of days looking dry. If you have some outdoor plans you need to get done, you're looking good.
Candace, thank you. It was not a good Sunday for 2/3 of Florida's teams. Coming up, a look at how the Jaguars and Dolphins fared yesterday and who the two teams have a chance to bounce back against this week. And coming up on News 6 at 4. It was a rough Sunday on the gridiron for teams across Florida. Sunday, the Dolphins taking their second loss of the season in just their second game. They lost to the Patriots 33-27. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa threw 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill had 109 yards. The Dolphins play Buffalo on Thursday. The Jaguars played the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a loss on the last touchdown, 31-24. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence threw for 3 touchdowns. Running back Travis Etienne had 71 yards. The Jaguars play the Texans on Sunday. Try out the all-new primetime schedule on News 6 Plus tonight. Matt and Ginger have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Then go in-depth as we track the tropics and answer your weather questions with meteorologist Jonathan Kagas at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It is all tonight on News 6 Plus. Download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. Hey, if you were watching News 6 last night, you probably caught the Emmy Awards. Apple TV's The Studio set a record for most wins by a comedy, taking home 13 trophies. Netflix's crime drama Adolescence took home the Emmy for limited or anthology series, and its 15-year-old star, Owen Cooper, became the youngest male Emmy winner ever. So it was past my bedtime, but I've been catching up on the highlights today.
I know, and there was a lot of highlights.
Yeah.
And I like how Nate, the host, was saying if you go over, they're going to start deducting money from the Boys and Girls Club, which they didn't.
I think he was onto something.
Yeah, right.
Switch over right now to the News 6 Plus streaming app or click Orlando.com to watch News 6 Extra. Have a great day.